Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to look at more Zeta, starting from number 21, Corner Beast. This is for the Wampa. I still have it under A. It's actually hers, and I still have her under A. Even though it's not really, it's really hard for me to justify keeping it an A, but I feel like giving it a B is also kind of undeserving. Assault Vengeance's Rampage is under A. Like anything that gives you a dramatic offense boost is probably going to be amazing. And for someone who hits as hard as Wampa, it's really good. 5% offense for each damage over time effect. Water Wampa, if it's good enough, can basically solo the entire Phoenix team. Because it's a she, right? She can be used to great effect under Rex. It's just amazing. She has no tags, as you can see here, but you don't need any. The Wampa is just that good. Next up, Lord of Pain, Scion. This one is probably also going to be someone that's going to be hard to justify keeping as an A, but he's really good. Scion without the Zeta is not really that good, unfortunately. Because he inflicts pain out of turn, he's going to get that help by hatred that much faster, which turns him into an unkillable zombie. So it's really worth it, and if you want to run a triumvirate team, you have to have it. Just have to. Next up, this was what was rounding up my Palpatine team. My Palpatine team had, the Emperor Palpatine lead. It already had the Nihilus team from yesterday, Scion, Zeta, and I was like, alright, between Vader's, yeah, I think I was running Vader at the time too. Obviously already has Throne unique as well, so it's like, alright, between Vader's unique and Palp's unique, I would rather give Palp. Gives him a lot more survivability with max protection and gains. Extra max protection is pretty good. He's a solid character. It's not needed. It's more of a luxury Zeta, but I could do it, so I did it, and I don't regret it whatsoever. Even though you really don't see the effects of it, because he's still squishy as hell. But I would assume if I don't have it, he's going to be even more squishy. Next up, Demolish. This one I think was also was it for the TB? It can't be for the TB because I could already reliably complete the Phoenix combat mission already, so this was probably for something, probably for the raids for the Phoenix. Even my Phoenix is still not very well geared, unfortunately. I wish they just take so much gear. And this one was for the Scion for phase 2. It's very solid, it does a lot of damage. I gave it a C, and I don't really regret it. It's a lot of fun, but it's not that amazing. Next substance flows from the Force for Hermit Yoda, the better of Hermit's 2 Zetas. It's a special. The protection recovery is good. The Foresight for Jedi are good. I use Hermit in phase 2 of the Sith Raid to this day under Jedi Knight Revan, and that heal and that Foresight keeps my Jedi alive for like a turn or two even after Scion hits Enrage. And now, oh, that's right, because I already saved 2 Zetas for, what's her face? Traya. So these 2 were kind of the luxury Zeta I had. And while I was waiting for Traya to be unlocked, and the day I unlocked her, I immediately took her to gear 11 and gave her the 2 Zetas. And for the first one, the Lord of Betrayal dispels all debuffs on them. And that's just amazing. Also fits very well with Traya's character. She's going to help them out, but at a cost. They're going to lose health for what she does to them. Compassionate Weakness was also a great Zeta, although for the beginning of the game, I mostly used Palpatine's leadership because it's just the Terminator train, just amazing, which ironically is also an effect of Lord of Betrayal. But this one is still very good, and right now I'm using her as her own lead. Just completely counters characters that counterattacks or assist. Rebels. Obviously also amazing against the Karth lead, and when not against buffs, completely neuters the offense. Just amazing. Still an amazing leadership. Next up is BB-8, which I used for phase 1 of the Sith Raid, even though I already beat it. I just want to get better scores, because that's a lot of amazing gear. This ability really helps keep R2 alive, which was a big problem, and is very good. obviously also boost a Jedi training raid team in other aspects of the game, but for me it was mostly for raid. The Great Mother, why did I do that? It wasn't really necessary, but it's an amazing leadership anyway. It's great to have two choices of leadership between Asajj Ventress and Wazir Talzin. It's a very long ability, but basically revives a Night Sister on a basic, and that Night Sister dies, but if you kill someone with that basic, you live. Fuels Asajj and Old Daka's unique Zetas. It's great. And obviously, like, a full revive team for the whole team, that's amazing. Next up, Darth Vader, and it's not a great unique. I gave him that Zeta for one and only one reason, his ship, and I kind of regret it. It's not the worst thing ever. I don't really regret it, but it's not worth it, especially since Vader's ship is not really meta anymore. Next up, Cassian. I needed him for the Rogue One mission. My guild was very focused on TB, and it's one of the things that got us through 45 stars. I don't regret it, and obviously his U-Wing is now meta, so solid. Insight gives Rey big damage for the raids, phase 1, Sith. You all heard the spiel. It's great, it's a very good Zeta as a B. It's not as good as her leadership. It's not required, but gets her damage up a lot, even though Jedi Training Rey is classified as a tank. She hits hard, she's more like an attacker, so yeah, it's a lot of damage, it's worth it. On the hunt, so this is already after Chewbacca came out, I gave him the Zeta because it's an amazing Zeta. Makes bounty hunters really tough to kill. I also use it to great effect in the Chewie event, which we'll see Chewbacca, if not today, pretty soon. And then his Hound's Tooth is one of the second, well, overall probably the best ship in the game. Obviously worth it. I'm looking at giving him his second Zeta when I get spare Zetas, which is never, unfortunately. This is another one I regret. Dancing Shadows. So, what happened during the game is that Jedi Knight Revan came out, and I didn't buy him. That was awful for someone who was running Trey and this is Triumvirate and didn't have Revan. And I think the first week, people were like, oh, a Zeta Maul team can't work with Nest and the Triumvirate. So I gave him that Zeta in anger because I was frustrated with Revans. Didn't do a whole lot. I tried him like once or twice, failed miserably, and went back to running Triumvirate, lingering outside of top 20. This is something I definitely regret. Actually, earlier this week, or is it last week, I just got Maul to gear 12 for the Sith Master title. Seeing him at gear 12 and a Zeta makes me kind of happy, especially for a tune that's for any characters that are not meta that I don't see all the time. Seeing that gold ring just makes me happy, but it's a Zeta, not really good. And now saving up for Jedi Knight Revan. Gave Yoda the. Why is that a B? Excuse me. Probably gonna have to change one of these for every episode, hey? Absolutely amazing if you run Jedi Knight Revan. Obviously, you need this ability, Zeta. Foresight the Terminator game, mostly 50% Terminator gain chance, and you get additional 10%. Basically, Yoda uses his AoE, gets a bonus turn, uses his battle meditation, basically gains enough turn meter to go again right away, and uses basic and gains a bunch of turn meter again, and destroying someone in the process. It's an amazing Zeta, absolutely required for the Jedi Knight Revan team. Next up, Jolee, the most annoying character in the whole game. That's not an exaggeration. No, it used to be Dooku way back when, maybe Zeta Bears, but now Jolee. Reviving all defeated Jedi characters, that's just, oh, so painful. And Jolee, so tanky, has so much health, so much tenacity, so it's hard to stun him or ability block him. You can't remove turn meter from him. Wow, just absolute pain. He's such a lovable character in the KOTOR game. It's just like lovely, it's like a wise sage and a cranky old man at the same time. He's lovely, but in the game, he's awful. Oh, and now that Bastila's legendary battle meditation can go through buff immunity, ugh, so much worse. Next up, I think you know what this is. This is for Chewbacca. I was really lucky. Um, Chief Chirpa was gear 9 at the time, still is gear number 9, and I got. Oh, wait, no, this is for the C3PO. And I got 7-star 3PO with a gear 9 Zeta Chirpa, gear 11 Ewok Elder, gear 11 Ewok Scout. I know, I was lucky. He had an easy gears, like, why not? And I had a gear 8 Wicket, gear 8, no kidding, and a gear 9 low grade. Got C3PO at 7 stars. I think I screamed. It was amazing. That was basically the only investment I had to make for this 3PO event. I was not beating tier 5 without the Zeta, and after giving him a Zeta and like a few pieces of gear to Wicket to get him to gear late, I got him at 7 stars. One of my favorite moments in the game. So it's absolutely worth it. I don't really use the Ewoks now because their gears are still kind of where they are. I want to gear them up and give them more Zetas, but I got way more important priorities. Next up, Chewbacca. So after getting Bosk to 7 stars in the Zeta and gear 12, because Bosk gear is just amazing, it's so easy, I got Chewbacca to 7 stars. I got him to gear 12, and I gave him both Zetas. And I don't know why, but I gave him the wrong Zeta. I gave him the worst Zeta first, which is not really bad, it's just not as amazing as Loyal Friend. Immunity, ability block, and cooldown increase is obviously very good, but not as this one. Chewbacca and all guarded allies recover health and protection when Chewbacca deals damage to an enemy. And if you use an AoE, that's 3% times 5. It's great. It's a better Zeta. So even though this one is not as good, Chewie pilots a Falcon, so it's all worth it, even just for the ship. The ability Zeta itself is not bad either. And for the last one, number 20, Commander Luke Skywalker. What do you know? Rebel Maneuvers. And I still didn't have Revan, wouldn't have Revan until a little bit later down the line. And with 3PO and with Chewbacca, Commander Luke Skywalker could defeat Revan. I think I run that for a very short while. Did okay against some of the worst Revans out there in my shard. It was worth it, and having a triple Zeta journey character always feel good. Right now, the only one missing is Rey's Foresight. No, the Rey's Cleanse Zeta that I'm missing. I'll give it someday when it's gonna be worth it. But this one is very good. I don't regret it whatsoever. So, the third and final episode is gonna start from Vandor Chewbacca all the way to my most recent one from yesterday mission. And just a quick recap, everything from 40 all the way to 21 are going to be worth it, except for Maul, which is an anger Zeta. Don't say to anyone in anger. Vader saw his ship, so it's fine. Cassian has a ship. I did it for T-Beats. Alright. Sabine might be a little regretful, but it's so much fun. I can't really regret it. And everything else has been meta, either in Squad Arena or in Raids, so it's all very good investment. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the third episode.